Welcome to Symbiotic Vibration, everyone. Today we are going to speak about balancing out life in this chaotic world while I learn to balance on this beautiful slackline. Finding flow state, making micro adjustments, devoid of the fear of falling, because we can always get back up again and learn how to balance. So, that's what we're going to do today. Talking is not required while we slackline, but here we are, you know. This is the introduction and all. Lord, I'm on a permanent holiday, I'm going outside to play, I ain't gonna slave away. Hello crew, and welcome back to Symbiotic Vibration. Today is Monday. I've just finished a very, very long week of work and I need to balance out my life while I have plenty of time off this week. And so I thought I was going to come out here and slack for the day. If you've never heard of slacklining, I will show you all about it. I'm not a professional by any means. In fact, I haven't done it since last summer, so I'm very rusty. And I know that because I've just started to do it again. But it's a beautiful, beautiful activity. It is literally physically balancing, and it can be used as many analogies for us to find balance within our own lives. And so, yeah, that's the plan today. I'm going to do lots of slacklining. I'm going to take some videos, hopefully while I slackline, and I can chat away to you and fall and have a bit of fun. But there's so many lessons that we can learn from slacklining in terms of balance and balancing out our lives within this chaotic society that we find ourselves in. And that's what I'll be speaking about today. I'll be speaking about my own life. I'm applying my own life to balance so that I can use myself as an example. And obviously I'm no master of balance by any means, way, shape or form, but I have spent 33 years on this planet, and within that time I have most certainly fallen many, many times and gotten back up again and found some form of balance these days, most certainly as I work and try to get these videos out in social media and still keep somewhat stable and healthy in my mind and body. So I have plenty to offer. And that's what we'll be doing today. We will speak about the nervous system as usual. We'll speak about applying balance to life, and patience and time and practice and awareness, self-awareness with regards to balancing out what it is that you want to balance out, and possibly removing some behavioral patterns that might be causing you to be unsteady, and applying some new behavioral patterns that might allow you to find balance along your journey while I'm balancing on this slack line. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. I'm sure I've probably shown you in the intro already what it looks like, and I'll do a bit more now, and I'll have a little chat to you, and then we'll come back and we'll talk shop. Finding balance in this crazy, chaotic game we play is so difficult. That's why I like to slackline and use it as an analogy for life. To enter flow, to drown out the noise, to connect to the breath, to connect to the trees, to avoid the fear of falling. Because we have to fall off the slackline over and over again to learn how to balance. And it's no different in life. We can't be afraid of falling, because without falling we can't learn to balance. Like Albert said in Batman, why do we fall, Master Bruce? So that we can learn to pick ourselves back up again. And that is my lesson for today. I love you. Oh no! I don't know if you're catching all of that. But as you can see, with slacklining, you have to trust your body's natural ability to balance. And the body, I find, is much more capable of finding natural balance and harmony than the mind is. But slacklining allows us to realize that if there's anything within the mind, then you're going to fall off balance very easily. You have to pick a flow. So I usually stare at a part of the tree. I stare at it intensely, and I like to clear my mind completely and focus and connect back to my breath. And just allow everything to happen. And you'll notice all of the micro adjustments that my body is making. These are all subconscious adjustments. It's amazing to be in that state. Your body just knows how to balance, and it's doing its thing. And I think we can apply those micro adjustments to life. You know, like I said earlier, you're going to fall. It's simple. You have to try things in life, and yeah, you're going to fail sometimes. But I don't think failure is necessarily a bad thing. You know, I've had a lot of different life paths. After my brain surgery, I had no purpose or no meaning, and I didn't even know if I could go back to work because I was all over the place, mentally and physically, and emotionally and spiritually. And yeah, I tried a music course. I dropped out. I opened up a deli and a coffee shop, and I put myself into major debt, and I had an absolutely ridiculously overstimulating experience while still trying to recover from my brain tumor. It was not recommended if you are someone who's in recovery from anything really to dive into life like that. But you know, I didn't have me right now to teach me. I just wanted to be normal, and I wanted to get back to life, and I did not have any balance whatsoever. I was working 19, 20-hour days when I should have been sleeping for 13 or 14 hours to try and recover and heal my brain and heal my soul. And yeah, instead of dealing with all of those emotions, dealing with all of the trauma, I created more. You know, I was in the fast lane of life, and I was using a lot of chemicals to try to sustain that fast life and try to numb down what it was that was trying to come to the surface at the time. And, you know, eventually that would lead to total and utter collapse. And, you know, I'm really happy that all of that happened. I'm happy that I tried all of those things. I'm happy that I made all of those mistakes, and I failed within my business, and I ended up in heavy financial debt before I calmed down and started to realize that there was a lot to do here in terms of my own trauma and my own experience and finding balance. And yeah, you know, if you're watching this and you're struggling to find balance, or you're recovering from something, or you're going through something very traumatic, then I hope that you know that that's what life is all about. You know, we can't have beautiful bliss without the suffering, without the pain. And we can't find balance without failing and without falling and without having self-awareness. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm just rambling on right now. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to be doing here. Am I just going to keep this camera here and chat away? Or will I change the angle or what? Maybe I'll change the angle. Do you know what? That's what I'll do. I'll do another bit of slacklining, and then I'll change the angle, and then we'll speak about something else and see what comes out of my mind. I love you if you're watching this, and I think you're amazing, and I hope that you're resonating with what I'm saying or getting something out of this. I'm certainly having a great time. Hi. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to try and walk backwards. Oh. Wow, it's not as easy as it used to be, huh? Ugh. Let's try again. Yes. Oh, oh, it's just amazing. So get yourself on a slackline if you're watching this and you really do need to find some balance and you want to have some fun. It's amazing. Get to spend time around all these trees. If you haven't watched my last episode on invisible illnesses and spending time with trees. It was a good episode, or video, whatever we want to call them. But yeah, it's nice to be free again. It's nice to be free. So yeah, let's finish up and talk about nervous system regulation. I won't talk for long. I'll do a couple of analogies on the nervous system and slacklining, and yeah, we'll finish up and I'll go home and I'll edit this up and we'll have a video for Monday. And if you're watching this still and you're enjoying it, I can do as many videos as we want on slacklining and balance. So yeah, just so you know. No fun of corporate Babylon, I'm never gonna be a pawn. Hello again, my friends, my family. So I hope you're enjoying my slacking. It's a very casual day for me, so yeah, it's not going to be anything crazy video wise. You know, I've just said it there, but slackline brings so much to life. It really does. One of the major things that I find with it is it's super fun. It allows you to connect to your inner child so easily, because you laugh, you hang out with the trees, you're swaying, you're having fun, you're trying to do this routine of balancing, just as you would when you're a kid walking along the curbs or beams trying to balance. You just enter a state of fun and flow, and we're lacking in that within society. I find we're so busy all of the time, just trying to keep our mouths fed and keep our kids fed and warm and keep our bills paid, and we forget to have fun, and we forget to just enjoy life for what it is and enjoy a day of being in flow. And that's what slackline helps me with. It really does. And yeah, it's so good for your body, so good for your mind. You know, you balance out your body, you balance out your mind, it helps a lot. And so you're using a lot of muscles and tendons and ligaments that you wouldn't use normally, that you should be using. You know, we're all wearing shoes, runners and boots, most of us anyway, and avoiding being barefoot, when being barefoot is one of the most beautiful stabilizers of your mind and body. And we're not using a lot of the muscles and ligaments and tendons around our ankles, around our Achilles, around our shins, and our feet. And yeah, that's causing destabilization within our actual body. It travels the whole way up to the back and the core, all from those muscles being unstable, because we are constantly making adjustments to stabilize, which can cause pain and cause disalignment within our body. And by slacking, you're using all of those tendons and ligaments and micro muscles down there, and also you're stabilizing muscles within your core, within your back, within your core on the sides here, and your abs, and all of those stabilizer muscles are working, which we don't commonly use in day-to-day life. So it's really, really healthy for us, and it helps with balancing the body, and thus helping balancing out the mind. I hope that makes sense. I'm just waffling right now, but yeah, you know, I find with me, and I'm sure with you as well, that often we end up going to extremes, often missing the middle ground between the extremes, you know, like productivity and burnout, where you're super, super, super productive and then you're burnt out and you didn't find somewhere in between to balance that out. Or yeah, you know, your discipline versus indulgence. You're all in on discipline. You eat perfectly, you train perfectly, it's really healthy, and then, you know, you tire out of that because you haven't allowed yourself to indulge anyway, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on the opposite end of the scale and you're indulging and you're eating way too much and you're on the couch and you're not doing anything. Now, I am projecting because that's literally my life for a long time, but I'm sure you can resonate with that some way, shape or form. And there's many more analogies I could use there, but we'll leave it at that. Weighing scales, we all know how it works. Balance. I love Ireland for this. It forces us to balance. The seasons here are constantly changing, and you know, we don't have California heat all year round. We have to settle for rain a lot of the time. We have to settle for cold within the winter and wetness, and then a nice breezy, somewhat warm spring, and then a decent summer as well. So we get to shift with the seasons here, and I think it's a beautiful thing. It almost allows us to balance, because we have to rest in the winter, we have to hibernate, we have to digest our experience and come back stronger and more balanced every time. It's beautiful, it really is. I love it. And yeah, I don't really know if I have anything else to say right now. I'm just going with the flow, as you say. But I have some more things that I'd like to speak about. I most certainly would like to speak about nervous system regulation I do that in almost every episode, but it's just so important to talk about. And I can use the slackline for so many analogies, so that would be really fun. So yeah, perhaps we'll do a little bit more slacking, have a little bit of fun, and talk about the nervous system and regulating it. And yeah, I think I'll finish it up then. This doesn't have to be a long episode. It's really just a casual one. I'm enjoying the casual ones lately, and the analogies are fun. So yeah, if you're watching this, please feel free to leave a comment if you're still here. Let me know if you're enjoying the balanced videos lately. The balanced videos, the kind of chilled ones that I don't do much preparation for, because it's nice. I'm going to be doing some beautiful videos this week. I have a breathwork session lined up, and then a really cool video for the next video of a survivor's guide to survival. I actually said the last one was number 9. It was actually 8, so number 9 is going to be incredibly powerful. It's going to be the best one yet, no doubt. My best video yet, I think. A lot of editing will go into it, and I have a camera person, so yeah, it's going to be new to me. I'm really excited. It's going to be a motivational video. And before we move on to kind of the second third of the chapter series, it will be the kind of ending of the first. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. So enough waffling. Let's do a bit more slacklining and then talk about the nervous system and whatever else I have to talk about. And then I'll leave you all go. Okay, slow and steady. Breathe. Flow. Okay, we're going to try and walk backwards now. No, we're not. Okay, so, I mean, that was a little bit better. That was certainly a little bit better. You know, it's been almost a year since I've tried to slackline. It's something that I became very connected to before I went to Canada. If you're following along, Symbiotic Vibration, I'm Evan. I had a brain tumor, and I make videos with regards to healing and trauma and purpose and addiction and connection and community. It's a beautiful journey that I find myself on. I'm getting much better on camera. I'm getting much better at being myself on camera. You know, it takes a long time if you're into this kind of thing. It takes a long time to get comfortable with really expressing yourself and just being comfortable around the camera, seeing it as your friend. And yeah, I went to Canada when I was in my early 20s, and I did a lot of slacklining, so much. In fact, I'll share some videos of me doing it right now if I have some. And it was just such a beautiful part of life for me. It really was. Just carefree, early 20s, living in Vancouver, slacklining on the parks with more Canadian people, trying to pick up girls with my slackline coolness. And yeah, I mean, it didn't take long before my brain tumor started to display itself. And unfortunately, I spent many moons trying to stay alive and having brain surgery and trying to recover. So I had to leave slacklining go for a long time. And in fact, I was worried that I might never be able to do it again, to be honest, because I had a lot of neck trauma. And I was afraid, obviously, of hitting my head and whatnot. But yeah, I don't think life is to be lived in fear, you know. So slowly but surely, I've weaned myself back onto it. Now I am at a very stable height here. I used to try crazy things, but yeah, let's do another one round, and then we might sit here and I'll chat about something else with regards to slacklining and balance. It's so good for all of your stabilizer muscles, slacklining in your legs, in your ankles, in your shins, in your tendons, in your Achilles, and your ligaments, your core muscles, in your back, in your body, for connecting to your balance internally by doing it externally, for breathing, for finding flow, connecting to the breath, connecting to the trees. It's just amazing. So if you don't have a slackline, you should get one, because it is just so good for you. And don't talk while you do it, because it takes your mind out of flow. I'm so happy. It's all this monopoly money. that keeps us from ever being free. Okay. So I've been spending some time slacking and just having fun. I needed to have some time to myself today. So whilst I am cameraing, I'm also just allowing myself to think, to process the week that's just gone by, and to enjoy some fun and some balance on the Slack. And I'm really enjoying myself. But yeah, I said I'd take a little bit of a break and give you some advice on balancing life. Now, I am no professional. I've said that already. I don't think anybody ever will be. Balance is not something that we find and that's it. It's a constant work. But from my 33 years of experience, I've been all over the place, up, down like a yo-yo. And eventually, over the last year or so, I've learned to coordinate my life in a way that I find I'm balanced right now. Everything is working as it should. I'm never burning out. I'm sleeping well. I'm eating well. I'm affording the time I have spare to symbiotic vibration and creation and music and spending time with my loved ones. And everything is getting ticked off as I go on. And it's all been a learning process, most certainly with this symbiotic vibration and creation. But I used a pie chart as an example in a previous video. It was a video about how my life will work from now on, and you can go back and watch it. I explain how I'm going to balance out life, and I'm literally doing it right now. And I take €168, which is the hours that we have in a week. I'm almost certain, I can't exactly remember right now, but I'm pretty sure 24/7 is 168. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll correct myself. I think I'm right. But anyway, instead of using currency in a budget and a pie chart, I use time. And so it's a very effective way of understanding how much time that you have per week and what you're affording your time to. And if you're honest with yourself, it can be a beautiful learning experience. So you take the 168 hours and you take sleep. If you're sleeping for 8 hours a night, that's 56 of your 168 hours. It's roughly a third of your time already taken by sleep. And so then the next 110 or so hours that you have left after sleep are yours. And then if you're working 40 hours, minus that off again, and all of a sudden you're down to very little hours that you have for yourself within the week. And then you want to give time to family, and then you want to give time to exercise, and then you want to give time to whatever else it is that you want to do. And when you start to literally create these pie charts, I use Apple charts to do this, you see it physically in front of you. And you start to understand how little time that you actually have, most certainly as you age. And it really helped me, because I realized that, okay, I can't afford time to going out for pints with the boys once a week and being hungover the next day. I can't afford too much time to watching movies and just scrolling along my phone, digesting content that is nonsensical and doesn't help me in any way, shape or form. So you start to identify the behavioural patterns that are holding you back in life with these pie charts, with actually physically seeing where you afford your time and your care and your attention. And you know, depending on what you want to get out of life, you can manipulate your behavioural patterns in a healthy manner in order to alleviate space, alleviate time, and alleviate space to balance. Yeah. And so that's what I'm doing, and I would tell everybody to go and do that practice at least once in their life, just to physically see how much time that you have, and being honest with yourself and where you're giving that time and where you're affording it. And it will help you so much. It helps me so much. You know, right now my balance is extreme. You know, I have no time as such to fit anywhere else. I'm working an incredible amount of hours one week, like I said, and then I'm here and I have a week off. And I have to, well, I don't have to, but I like to get a video out every Monday, Wednesday and Friday if I can. So that's more time that I need to afford to things like this. Now, luckily, I spend all of my time outside and I just bring the camera with me, and whatever it is that I'm doing, I will take videos along the way, and that really helps me capture the content, so I don't have to split the two up. I get my nature walks in, I get my time outside in, and I get slacklining in, I get music in, and I can make videos. But yeah, for me, it's abstination from alcohol really is the main thing for me, and how I afford all of this time. So I look after sleep, that's very important to me. I look after my nutrition, that's very important to me. I make sure that I do mobility every day, and I do breath work every day, and I do as much meditation as I can within those activities. So usually when I'm doing breath work and mobility, I'll try and fit in some meditation at the same time. Then I create, I have my work, I spend time with loved ones, and there's not much time outside of it. I play music as well also, so realistically I can only afford what I can to everything that I have. And the reason why I do this is because I have aspirations in life, and if you have aspirations in life and you want to make them happen, but you want to be balanced at the same time, then I would go ahead and do that. Practice with a chart and see where you're giving your time to. Be honest with yourself. And yeah, if you are, and you see where you're giving your time to currently, then build yourself a futuristic lifestyle with a new pie chart of the lifestyle that you think would perfectly suit you. And once you see that it is possible and plausible, and then you just have to apply yourself to it. And it's not just an overnight change. Slowly but surely look at those behavioural patterns that don't serve you, whatever that may be, whether you're drinking too much, or you're taking drugs, or you're watching too much TV, or you're watching too much screen time. And slowly but surely try to sway those behavioural patterns into healthier behavioural patterns. Like for me, it's mobility, it's breath work, it's meditation, it's nature, it's music, it's creation, it's writing, it's reading, it's whatever it is, you know. Everybody has their own interests. But yeah, it will help you to learn how to balance, and it will help you to achieve what it is that you want to achieve here, whatever that may be. Maybe your goal is literally just to achieve relaxation and balance. You can do that, but it's up to you, you know. So nobody else is going to do it for you. It's up to you to consistently try, to consistently fall, to consistently fail, to consistently pick yourself back up again, and eventually find some state of balance that will inevitably change anyway, because your life will change. And then you'll have to find new balance and new ways to balance out your life. But yeah, I hope this helped. I'm just rambling now, so we're going to stop talking. And yeah, I'll finish up by speaking about the nervous system, like I said. Unless I've made these videos backwards and I've already spoken about that. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Oh, hello again. I find myself back where it all began. I don't have much more to say. I won't hold you. But I did want to bring it back to the analogy of falling from the slack line one more time. Life is extremely difficult for us to balance. We all know it. It's inorganic what we're doing. The veneer of society that has been constructed, that we were born into, it's extremely difficult for our nervous systems to navigate these systems and to balance ourselves within, because we're juggling so much, trying to keep ourselves alive, trying to keep our families fed, trying to keep our passions alive. It's very difficult to balance, but we're not going to be able to balance unless we're aware and unless we try to bring awareness to ourselves, to bring awareness to our lives. And that's what I was speaking about recently with regards to the pie chart and in regards to budgeting your hours. To be aware of where you're giving your time to, but to try to balance, to try new things. And so that's what is the slack line. You know, you're not going to be able to understand how to balance on a slack line the first time you get on it. Well, some people might actually, but most people won't. And you have to fall, and you have to fall, and you have to fall, and you have to fall. And you'll get frustrated, but you'll learn that there's no need to be frustrated. You just need to keep falling and keep getting back up and keep trying, and eventually you will learn how to balance. Your body already knows, you just have to remember. And it's no different for life. And so if you are trying to find balance, just remember, it's okay to fail. It's okay to fall. And it's okay to get back up again. And it's okay to be frustrated, but I think it's healthy for us to accept that we're going to fall and we're going to fail and we're going to get back up again. And with the nervous system, you know, I don't need to go into detail with it because I speak about it almost every episode, but in terms of slacklining, you're not going to be able to balance if you're frustrated. You're not going to be able to balance if you're overstimulated of mind. You need to be in flow, you need to be relaxed to find the parasympathetic state, and then you will find balance. And it's no different for life. We can't find balance if we're constantly in a sympathetic state of mind, if we're overstimulated and over-aroused all of the time. And I speak about this all of the time, so I don't need to go into it, but most certainly with slacklining, connecting to the breath is one of the most important things. If you are in any way short of breath or erratic of breathing, you won't be able to balance. You need to be able to connect to the breath and allow it to flow. And yeah, this takes practice. And I spoke about this in a recent video on stomach gripping and connecting to the breath and doing a breathwork session. So if you do struggle with your breath, do go back and watch that video. It's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't have much more to say. You know, I speak about the nervous system all the time, but just by being outside with these beautiful trees, listening to bird song and slacking and breathing, you will begin to find harmony within yourself pretty quickly. You'll have a lot of fun and you'll find yourself very relaxed in the middle of and after it. So yeah, maybe one more analogy. You know, I think life is like one big long slack line, and I don't think that we should be afraid to wobble. We need to wobble, but we also have to learn how to coordinate ourselves. And that might be an absolutely ridiculous statement to finish on, but that's where we're going to finish today, my beautiful people. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to have a good time editing this now, because this was a fun one. But I just wanted to tell you all that you're amazing, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And here's to many more. Subscribe if you haven't, and like the video and comment. It helps with the algorithm. Love you. Ow.